Images and Voices of Hope works with a question. What does it look like when media are agents of world benefit? This was 1998 when we started talking about this, and what we felt was that the biggest export of the U.S., and really now a lot of countries, was its messages, its news stories, its soap operas, its magazines, its films.
My impression so far of Images and Voices of Hope is that it's a group of people who have found their deep purpose. If you've seen pictures of oceans of cell phones and aluminum cans and so on, that's what I do. It's a commentary on our mass culture.
I do research on alcoholism and spirituality.
And I work on sustainable development and climate change.
Facilitating community conversations on what does a culture of peace look like.
Who are living a kind of extremely deep life and projecting that out through the work that they do. And that's what I'm trying to do. And so I feel like there are a whole bunch of people who are from the same planet I'm from.
We'll talk about your work with telling stories, because that's really, in many ways, what you do, day in and day out.
Well, this is the story that comes at the end of the news on Friday nights. So I make no apologies about the fact that I focus in on the good in people.
We asked ourselves, what is it that we're communicating with these messages, and what do we want to be communicating? When it's really about allowing people to find their passion, what moves them in their work. Why did they go into this? Why did I want to be a filmmaker? Why did I want to be a journalist?
Journalists I know most of them want so desperately to give a voice to the voiceless, and to hear those stories and to right the wrongs.
And so what this is about really is putting people back in touch with what drove them. And it's really when people touch back into that, they realize that they're dying on the job a little bit every day when it's only about money.
But I'm standing there with a tape in my hand and I'm thinking, well, there's a war going on. The American people have not seen this. This is something that could be very useful for the American public to see and know about.
When they come forward with these pieces that they do out of love, they're alive. I mean, they're on fire. They're animated, they're talking, they're creative, and the room lights up.
And that's who we are. And the great thing about coming to a place like this is that you realize that you're not alone.
So it's really kind of reawakening what it is in the media community that we got excited about originally, and what might we do together. What might we do alone, and what might we do together to help our world at this time when it's so fragile, and when the messages of the world can potentially leverage such big ideas.
It takes a real power and a real strength to do what needs to be done, and that power has got to come from somewhere. That strength has got to come from somewhere. So you can come to a place like this and get really rejuvenated, because I think we're all passionate. We got in the business to really, most of us, change the world, to help change the world, to help people. And it's a very challenging time.
This is not an organization that struggles. It attracts extraordinary talent and people at the top levels of journalism and filmmaking and print and art and advertising.
I started being involved with Images and Voices of Hope in the year 2000. Being a part of Images and Voices of Hope means bringing a new meaning to our work, to our jobs, and of course, to our lives.
And Images and Voices of Hope is a place where we can build a culture of media professionals. What works is celebrating all the millions of people who are doing extraordinary things to make this planet a place we can live on and a place that can be healthy for our children.
I've been a volunteer for Images and Voices of Hope for the last 8 years, and although I'm involved with many journalism organizations, and all of that comes from the head, my heart is in Images and Voices of Hope. It connects me with my colleagues in a different way and connects me with why I became a journalist in the first place.